thing I'm going to point out is the texture on here is really very simple in contrast to these. That texture is that. And I don't say piece, but I'm just saying it is that kind of texture. So it doesn't have to be totally textured with different kinds of things. We are working with texture. But, I mean, it can be very simple, too. Okay? Now, I also want to point out with the spout on this that I played around. This has been in my traveling suitcase, I can see, for some time. Many workshops, getting a little chipped. But I played around with a lot of forms for spouts. And it might be that you play around with some cardboard templates. Because do you want it like this? Do you want it way exaggerated, very bird-like, very beak-like? Do you want it out further? All of those are possibilities. Do you want it more wrap around so that it really flows into the sides versus just coming out? All of those are possibilities. So yes, you can trace that or whatever, but the point is, how does that relate to your piece, your height, the width of it? The other thing is, do you, when you're pouring from a pitcher, do you hold it the same way as you would a coffee cup? I have a tendency to hold sometimes a mug like that, but when I'm holding something for gravy, whatever you want to call it, sometimes it's just one finger. Sometimes it is two. So maybe this is very short or very long. Maybe, again, it wraps around. And the nice thing in here is all around here, including the back room, there are these shelves of all the bisque pieces, as we mentioned last night. Look and see. I didn't even look to see where the pictures are. They're just, you see them interspersed. There's a whole bunch down there in the end. But look at the different handle shapes and the different angles that the handles have. This is made exactly the same way as I did the cup. The difference is that after I took it off the form, I absolutely just cut an oval here, had this ready, and hand inside and attached it. And then, this is what you need to be aware of, is this is very much smoothed out through here. So the liquid flows out easily without jumping over a line, indentation, strong indentation. The other thing about the spout is if this template shows you right here, 1/8 of a thickness. So this spout is thinner than the body. And you're bending it tight again, so it's gaining strength and thickness. The other thing is that when I roll out a spout, let's say I'm just going to roll this out, and this is not wedged, it was just off of something else. Also, when you start doing this, move it on the canvas so you're not always in the same spot, because pretty soon it's going to stick to that spot with the moisture. So move it over to another one. Roll it out between sticks, roll it on the slab roller, whatever you're comfortable with. Okay. So let's say that I just want to do something like that. Okay, here's my off-centered piece. All right, so at this point, I will roll down the sides. This is even a little thick, but roll down the sides so that you get a nice curvature and thinner at the edges. Here, thinner at the edges. Okay, then this whole thing is a little thick. Then I actually find a dowel rod, and there should be some way down in the end, or if there's a thin tube, you can use that. I'm looking to see here. All right, look here. So that's a close rod, dowel rod, but I place my piece over that and bend it around very carefully and let it stiffen up while I'm working on the form, just like I've made the handle ahead of time, so it can stiffen up a little. So the point is that you have this that's taking shape so that now when I'm ready to use it, it's going to be a little stiffer, and I can mold it to that, and it's not going to flop. Okay? Now, do you want to bend it out? Whatever. These are all personal choices. But the idea is the edges are thinner, and now this bottom part, do you want that straight? Do you want it curved? How do you want that to go into the form? The other thing is that the amount that you take off here of this piece should not be this really wide gap, because then you're going to have to stretch this really far, which means it's going to be trough-like versus really a nice pouring channel. Something about the pitcher spout you need to be aware of is clay moves, as we saw the handle on this other piece this morning. It moves as it's drying. This spout, when you put it on, just the way I want it, it's going to flatten out a little bit. You need to tighten it tighter than what you want it. Pull it tighter. Channel. Get it tighter. It'll open up a little bit.